So, we have snakes on the ground this week.
For now.
Mhm.
I'm heading out again tomorrow. So
No, but not during the podcast. You don't make it sound like you're going to leave the podcast and you're heading to the airport again.
I mean, maybe.
He
Is
is
that
like in
something-
45 minutes. And then he's going to stream the marathon reveal from the sky.
It didn't look like a reveal. I just saw a dead body and a cat.
No,
Not a
there's
big reveal.
there's a whole reveal today.
Oh, today. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At
That's
reset,
the one they
basically.
already did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that would be the trailer. That's different.
Gotcha.
They're doing a whole live stream today.
That makes sense.
We're not doing a whole live stream today because we're here to talk about Destiny and only Destiny, because this is your one and only Destiny only podcast.
I mean, you say that, but the TWAB is back, so
Did the TWAB ever go
Yeah, no.
away?
not
Let's-
us.
No.
I mean, not for anybody realistically. Is this other than like maybe mentioning they were building a second game? Have they ever? I mean, people have been begging for updates on this game for how long? And now this week they're like, "Hey, we have an update. There's a thing to show you." It's like, yeah, that you've been building for the last number of years that you have not once talked about here.
Right.
And now you'd be like, "Look, we have a pink kitty cat. Look at the pink kitty cat, everyone. Ooh, pink kitty cat."
Acid Cross's reaction was funny. He goes, "Is that a companion? Did we finally get a companion I've been asking for, I don't know, 10 years? If so, the first thing I'm doing is uninstalling because I've been asking for this forever."
Pink kitty cat.
No, we're not talking about Marathon. Can we stop the talking about Marathon and just
What's
get on with the
Marathon?
Destiny show? Exactly. We're going to start the trailers. Not trailers. Now look what you've done to me. Titles. Roll the titles.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Night Demon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
Pink kitty cat.
No pink kitty cats.
Yeah, just metal doggos is all we have.
Metal doggos. And metal
Exactly.
doggos are not a bad thing.
No, I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying that's what we have. That's our version of pink kitty cats.
Gotcha.
Will they be friends? Will we get the buddy comedy of the summer? Maybe.
Well, we might as well
Hopefully.
talk about it as you've already started talking about it. But
I mean, it's the
we're not.
first thing in the TWAB.
Can we talk about that? Right. I mean, we've rushed. Like Bungie has rushed to get to the end of episode Heresy. Like putting 2 weeks into one, just so that we can all focus on Marathon this weekend. And I'm like, I get it, but why did we go through the whole rigmarole of changing the this week at Bungie to this week in Destiny, because we're splitting the TWAB into two, and then not actually splitting the TWAB into the two until kind of now, basically, And I think Bungie are using the TWAB or the TWID as a vehicle to kind of go, oh, look at what we've got going. It's like, no, we want to talk about Destiny. We're here to talk about Destiny. You've lured us into a false sense of security by saying there's a TWAB or a TWIM or whatever it is, whatever we're calling it.
You're just making stuff up at this point.
Yeah, you're just making stuff up. We're here to learn about Destiny, and you're going, look over here. Look, there's a shiny thing over here. Forget that we've just ended Heresy. Just look at this.
Nope.
Shiny.
Unimportant. Look at the pink kitty cat. Look at the blue blood. There's stuff that's happening. Remember the other game we're making? We're making another game. Look at it. Look over there. Ooh, pretty.
I'm not saying that I'm not supporting them making another game, but I'm saying if we're going to talk about Destiny, let's talk about Destiny, and maybe just putting a little thing going, oh, by the way, we're doing a stream for our other game. You could get an emblem. That's it. I don't want a whole spiel and bring back the TWAB just so that you can go, hey, look, we've got all of this, and I'm not happy
I'm
about
not
it.
saying that I'm going to talk about this thing that I'm currently talking about, but you should know that I'm talking about this thing that I'm currently talking about.
We would never.
It is the hot topic of the week. I mean, literally every Destiny streamer is going to be covering it like today when it goes live, and they're giving out alpha codes. So we didn't get an alpha code. We didn't even get a box. Some people got boxes to unbox. We didn't even get a box to unbox.
No.
I mean, unless you count my wife's Amazon packages, then I've got a box to unbox because there's boxes in boxes in boxes in that kind of thing. I could do that.
So are you sure one of them isn't from Bungie?
Definitely sure. I've checked all the boxes.
Are you positive? Okay. I mean, just be sure. I mean, you never do know. It could be hidden in there.
Well, I think they know that we are an
to be
exclusive
fair-
Destiny 2 podcast. So I think they're like, no, these guys aren't even interested in Marathon. And they'd be right. We're not.
I
But
don't
other
even think
people
that's the case. I think you did get a box, and I think your wife saw Bungie and or Destiny on the box and just burned it before you saw it.
That checks out.
No.
I mean, would you put it past her though? Would
No.
you put it past her?
I wouldn't put it
Exactly.
past her.
Exactly.
So did you guys manage to finish your Destiny Act 3 of episode Heresy this week?
No, I'm working on it now.
Okay.
I haven't really touched Destiny in the last 2 weeks, honestly.
I finished my Act 2 Destiny this week, and I'm working on Act 3 because I had to go, beat a bunch of things with sticks and then collect a bunch of tokens, and that just took time. And now I've done that, and I made Eris, I assume, happy. So, she won't thwart me or whatever. And now I'm thwarting, going to go find a ritual and thwarting that because that's what we do with rituals. We thwart them. It's
The Dark
important.
Lord is
Unless we're starting our own ritual, which we do sometimes.
Yeah, but someone else is going to thwart it. Let's be honest here.
Well, I mean, it was quite a good kind of end to the story. I mean, I don't really want to spoil it if you guys haven't played it and other people that are listening haven't finished it yet. But I feel it was kind of a nice culmination of the story. I think the only thing that kind of let this whole episode down was the voice line thing, because it's so jarring. Like,
Yeah, especially
like-
since those are your main characters. And again, I don't fault any voice actors and actresses who are striking because they're not getting paid for their work. But yeah, since your entire season is about two people who we're not hearing from, kind of took the wind out of the sails of here's the voice lines and here's a lot of text on the screen.
Yeah, it's just like you'd hear some voice lines from, say, Oryx, and then you'd have text on the screen of somebody else, and you'd have to sometimes try and figure out who's doing the talking because they wouldn't put like in parentheses who was actually speaking. You're kind of just meant to work it out, and I'm like, okay, but yeah, it's very jarring to kind of have that. But apart from that, I mean, I mean, when I was playing it, I didn't realize it was the end of the season until everybody went, "Oh, it's the end of the season." I was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, because there's a confirmation pop-up that kind of happens at the end, and where you say, "Oh, we finished the whole of Act 3." Yeah, I mean, I like the kind of end mission. There was like a lot of kind of boss fighting going on. Again, we're not going to say that they've rehashed boss fighting from Destiny 1 in some places, but maybe they did, and Destiny 2. A little bit easier this time for killing bosses. But I got really excited. I messaged Peroty, or I put it in the chat, that they mentioned Malak, and I was like, "Where's my grasp of Malak? If we're mentioning Malak, where's my grasp of Malak? Why is it not in the Nightfall? Can I have it in the Nightfall? I will farm the Nightfalls for my grasp of Malak again for eternity. I love that pulse rifle." And sadly, it was just the mention of Malak. That was it. There was no grasp, nothing. So I was upset.
I mean, I even killed a bunch of Malak's henchmen, and they don't seem to have it either. I tried to beat it out of them. They didn't tell me anything.
I know.
So I don't know. Like, did they just not bring it in the game? Did it not come with them? I mean, where's the weapon, guys? Where is it? He needs his grass pack.
I do.
He spent a lot of time in Destiny 1 farming for the perfect 16 rolls of that weapon.
Which I still never got. I got one half on one weapon and one half on the other weapon. It was just, that was... Oh.
Hope springs eternal.
It does. I mean, the one that is kind of closest to it in look and sort of feel is the Oversoul Edict in Destiny 2 now that you can get from the Crota raid. Yeah, I've even put like a white skin on it, the one that I've got, to make it look like the Grasp of Malak. I'm sad. Yes, I know, I'm sad.
It's fine. We're not mad. We're not upset. We're just disappointed.
Yes.
I had forgotten about that weapon entirely till you messaged me, and then when you messaged me, I just burst out laughing because the number of times we ran that mission so you could try to get the role you were after.
Did we get it? No, let's kill ourselves and start again.
This time with feeling.
I'm a bit concerned because I've just looked on.
Don't do that.
No, I've just
don't
looked
look
on.
anywhere.
I've just looked on my Destiny item manager
Uh-oh.
at Destiny 1, and there doesn't seem to be anything in my vault. Yeah, it's saying that I've got one weapon on each character, one piece of armor on each character, 2 things in general, 1 emblem, and a ghost, and the rest of it is all just disappeared. It says 0 of 108 for everything.
It didn't
and I'm like,
disappear. It's encouraging you to go back and play Destiny 1 to get all your crap back again. It knows how much you love their game, and
I've refreshed it again.
To go back.
Oh no, this is not good. If they've wiped that out, that's I'm not happy.
Problem solved.
They have,
so much.
Because I haven't got a grasp of mallet actually equipped on one of my characters, so I'm now really sad.
You are now ready. You are now ready for Frontiers. You're ready for Frontiers. They're like, here, you need some room for the new Frontier weapons and Armor 3.0 we're giving you. So here you go. We're just
Destiny 1?
Just going to clean that vault out. It'll be fine. Yeah. Yep.
We're going to clear out your vault in Destiny 1 to give you more space in Destiny 2. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if that was a thing, actually.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that. Go on. I'll let you have that. I'll just forget I actually played Destiny 1.
Yeah, that's where all your vault space is gone in Destiny 1. So if you just clear that out, you'd actually have more spots in 2.
That makes sense. Yeah,
it's all you've heard of cross save. This is also cross save. You put it in a box in one place, it shows up in the box in the other place.
Cross delete.
And they took cross save a little far.
They did. But I also managed to kind of level up my tombs, my tombs and my tablets or whatever it is that is in Heresy's flat on both sides up to level 14 or 15 to get the perks on my. Oh, yeah, it was the slab. Sorry, the slab I've leveled up to get on the tomb that is in your inventory. all the different kind of things that people were talking about, like with the threadlings. So I got the one that says to shreds, so it boosts the unraveling projectiles, do increased damage, especially to severed targets.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that one. I'm quite happy with that.
And have you been shredding all the things? I
did, yes. I've been using my Barodiad, and I'm quite happy with that. I still need to do the one to get the threadlings, but I've got the one with target lock on there, so I'm quite happy that I've done that. But yeah,
did you see the damage testing between Barodryad and Final Warning? I think it is.
Yes, we did that last week when Snake was on a plane, so we did discuss that.
Yeah, it's still good. Don't get me wrong; it's still very, very good. But they're like, but the sidearm is better. I'm like, yeah, but sidearms right now is kind of what we need. But next season, maybe you'll need the submachine gun, and you'll want it to be as strong as it is.
It's a very good submachine gun, and I was very surprised because it wasn't something that I really wanted to go for initially, and I was like, it's a submachine gun. I've got my Risk Runner. I like that. That's good. Because it does what it does, and it wasn't until kind of people were saying, you need to get this because of it's just doing boss damage amazingly, and for mainly solo kind of content that I've been playing, I found it quite nice to kind of be able to go in and shred the bosses without having to kind of think about anything else. It's like I'll put that on, put my barricade on, and I'm golden. Going into the Nether, going into the Court of Blades, especially I've been doing a few of the expert Court of Blades, and I've been doing it with the fireteam matchmaking. So it's just been nice to kind of be the person that's kind of shredding the boss while everyone else is doing other stuff in there. So it's because I want to get another version of the sidearm that I pointed out last week is really good, the Division. And I've been trying to get rolls on that, but I haven't been able to get it. So I'm quite upset that the one that I want to get, I haven't been able to get. So I'm still in the expert Court of Blades trying to get that because that's the only place that it drops. But I did unlock the other thing on the slab to say that when they do drop now, they get 3 perks in the columns. So I'm like, I've got more of a chance now. So
better chances. That's what we like to
hear.
hear.
Lots of chances. Yeah. What about you guys this week? Apart from just catching up on Act 2.
Well, catching up on Act 3, sir. I've
Yeah.
done
And Act 3.
2.
Yeah, catch up on Act 2, starting Act 3. Still just honestly kind of been doing some vault cleaning, just still looking at things and going,
Yeah.
I don't need, I think I mentioned last week, I'm just going, I'm tired of looking through all the things to find the like 6 weapons that I want to use. So I've just been, using dim, removing things, looking at the exotics, double checking to make sure I can pull this exotic from collections, right? Because I don't want to have run a mission 6 times and then delete that exotic and then have to, get it back that way or not be able to get it back. So just going and clearing out more vault space, getting ready for frontiers. Going, I don't need these reprised weapons or the new weapons because I have them. So just removing them, making room for something new, and just sort of doing some tidying, playing the spreadsheet game, and honestly a lot of YouTube because trying to remember where I was or what thing I meant to be doing, or when Bungie gives me 8 words of cryptic text. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go?
Yeah.
Realizing that like you can either mainline Destiny and be aware of what's going on and where you need to go, or trying to come back into it after not even a break but just a busy week and going, what am I supposed to be doing now? Oh right, I've got these 4 missions of basically play the Nether over and over again and beat things to death with different sticks and weapons, and then turn that in.
It's a fun activity. So is that really such a bad thing?
No, it's not. No, not a bad thing at all. But just it's like that's what you need to do. It's just you need to grind this out. Go do this. Go do quarter blades. Get your taking kills. Get this thing done and then go, okay, now what? Now where am I supposed to go? Which I've been, again, having great fun with, but just having a hard time going sometimes. Where am I supposed to go now? Who am I supposed to be killing? What am I doing with this?
Yeah, I had that with one of the missions in Act 3 that it said you needed to go to the throne world. There was something on the throne world that you needed to do. So I pushed the button to say, okay, show me the highlighted thing on the throne world. It the little green thing came above the throne world. I went to the throne world and I'm like,
and they said,
where am I looking?
No.
Where is it? And I'm like,
not going to tell you.
Where is it? So I just clicked the button and flew to Finch. And luckily that kind of kicked it off. It was like, oh, I just need to fly there and then I'll be given more instructions. But there was no green symbol over Finch to just go fly here. And I'm like, that seems really strange. I know it was over the throne world, but just assume that I'm stupid and I don't know that that's what that means, is just go and fly to Finch. So I did, but I wasn't really 100% sure that that's where I needed to go.
I'll take things I had to look up because I too had no idea where I was meant to go on the throne world for 1,000, Alex. I did the same thing. I'm going, okay, I'm here. Now what?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? What's my motivation for this scene? Like, it's one thing to say go to a planet and then we'll give you some guidance, or go to the planet and talk to Finch, but just go to the planet, full stop. I'm like, okay. And the amount of all the indicators on the map, basically all those little golden circles next to everything going, hey, this is a thing you can do. Hey, there's a weekly thing for this on like every activity. Like when you go to the last city now, there's like a dozen little things with that, new activity indicator next to it. I'm going, yeah, I don't care about any of those. Like, there's just so, like, I'm really having the thought going, it's like the new light problem going, everything looks equally important. Everything has an indicator next to it and goes, everything's new and fresh. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to do the thing that I have highlighted on my quest log to get through this. And you're going, no, but go do these 9 other things instead. They're all here. They're all equally important. You don't know what you're looking for. Neither do we. Just, here you go. Have them all. But yeah, like I said, I looked it up because I'm going, I could roam around the throne world for a while and maybe figure it out. Or just say, no, I've been at this long enough. I know to just look it up. It's just going to be easier. It's not worth the trouble just to wander around going, maybe I'll find it one day. Maybe it's here. No, just look it up. Use the power of the internet.
The quest for the catalyst reminds me too much of the Labyrinth quest in Sundered Doctrine, where we had to run the dungeon multiple times, collecting worms along the way. It forced us to be in the dungeon a lot. For the Barrow Dryad, same thing, except instead of the dungeon, we're scouring the Nether over and over and over again. Well, I mean, that's just kind of like exotic quests in general. I mean, like, when have you had an exotic quest where you didn't have to go repeat a thing over and over and over again? At least in a while, right? That's what they want you to do. They have a new activity. They give you an exotic related to that activity. So you're going to have to go into that activity an uncomfortable amount of times, Plus, you get good weapons in the nether. So there's no reason not to go in. Just go in there. Also try for your god roll or that mysterious freaking double rolled
adept
that some people say exists, even though I've played this activity so many times, still haven't seen one.
Yeah.
So
you're holding it wrong.
Like clearly, I mean, it's not even like I saw one, but it was a bad roll. No, I've never even seen one at all. So I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, just keep grinding for that, I guess, for now. Now, the one thing that I was curious about is I'm in Expert Nether, and normally you could only get like 8 or 9 revives, I believe. I had 12 a second ago. Did that get updated last week when I wasn't here and didn't notice?
Are you just not shooting all the pots that go by that sometimes have little triangles of revive tokens, or the chests that have little revive tokens on them?
Even those, you're capped at a number of revives you can have in the Expert mode. What the hell?
I don't know. I've only done it a handful of times and haven't ever paid attention to what the cap was. So
the cap's like 8 or 9, I believe, right? Because
you start off with 8 or 9.
Yeah, and you can't get any higher than that in the Expert Nether. In the Expert,
if you find more tokens, that number goes up. If you just don't die, you can increase that number. I mean, that's the way it works in the regular Nether too. Is you start with a number, but then if you just don't die, you can end up with 20 or whatever revives just by collecting the tokens from shooting the things and opening chests.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I've done this a lot, and I've had really, really good runs, and I still couldn't get over like 9 revives. So,
who was that? Who's the comment from?
That was from. Hold on, you caught me right in the middle of fighting a witch. I'll tell you in a second. It's not Don. Don is commenting that he thinks Trials is better than the Nether.
Geronimo.
Yeah, that guy. Bearded Geronimo.
Oh, you go. There you go. Just that you didn't shout him out, that was all.
Sorry, Bearded Geronimo.
You just read it, and I'm going to read this from the chat.
Yeah, sorry. It's been a while. I'm out of practice.
At least I don't think you're ever in practice, though.
At least the worms and fragments up on the radar.
We are not streamers or YouTubers.
Yeah, I mean, no,
not.
Things have improved for sure, right? But
the radar thing is priceless.
Yeah,
Trials is better when you do it right.
That is not a thing.
When you pick up the right passage.
Oh.
yeah. Like when you pick up the right passage, and again, like we've talked about the last couple of weeks, going in and doing the things, like we said, depending what your goals are, there's right ways and wrong ways to do this in Trials. But yeah, the worms and things showing up on the radar, priceless. The fact that I'm not having to sit here with my best friend, streamer of the week, going, all right, I'm going to find all these things, and I'm going to follow your video and walk around all these places. I can just find these by, using my eyes, looking around and going, oh, there's something nearby. I really, really, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times I'm sitting here going, okay, I found one of these. Now let me go find the other, 75 with this video up. It's been so nice just to play the game and go, oh, look, there's something over there. Let me go find what it is. Is it a worm? Is it a fragment piece? What is it? I like playing the game in the game. I don't need to have a spreadsheet or YouTube video all the time. Not all the time.
Most of the time, but not all the time, yeah. I mean, you do still have to get kind of in the right area. The thing that got me, though, is the part of the quest for the exotic where you had to find every single secret, and they're secret for a reason, but some of them were just like out of the box. I'm like, what the what?
Well, we discussed this last week, Respawn. There are times
I wasn't here.
I know, but I'm just going to go over it for you now. Is that times you go into the Nether and those secrets just aren't there.
True.
They're just not there at all. And some of them are RNG, based on RNG. And you're like, what is happening here? Why am I having to play RNG in a secret kind of game? It's
especially the one where you had to not only load into that area, but also hope that area had Toland. And this past week I was like, hey guys, I loaded in if anybody needs it. And then somebody messages me like, yeah, no, Bungie made it so that everybody loads in. I'm like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They pushed the fix where they said, instead of trying to figure out why the rotations weren't rotating, everyone goes there for the whole breach as their first part every single time until reset.
Yeah.
It's been updated now, so now you'll go back to the randomness. But yeah, they're like, we're gonna fix this by just giving it to you all the time.
I mean, not a bad thing, honestly. I don't mind going in there like the way it was, but yeah, just me trying to help other people out because I had finally gotten it. I had finally gotten Toland, and so when I popped in there after the fact, I was just like, "Oh, hey guys, if anybody else needs this, I'm here." And just crickets, and somebody's like, "Yeah, no, everybody's got it now." I'm like, "Awesome, cool. See if I ever help you guys again."
This information would have been important to me yesterday.
That would never happen in trials because nobody likes trials. Okay. Oh, Demon's here. Hi, Demon.
What would never happen in trials?
The randomness shenanigans, the RNG stuff, apparently. But the other thing is like, I did play a lot of Crucible the last 3 weeks.
Lies.
No, I did because I had to get this God roll that I'm using right now for the trace rifle, and then I also there's a aggressive burst void pulse rifle. I was like, ooh, it can get the rolls that I wanted. And
Joxers?
Yeah. No, wait, hold on. Jocks?
Yeah.
The Iron,
right, yeah.
The Iron Banner one. Not
No.
the competitive one.
No, the hold on, what's it called?
Crucible one.
Joxer's Longsword.
Yeah.
The actual Crucible one, right?
Yeah.
So
It's this season's Crucible weapon.
I turned in.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot. I thought I was thinking that was Iron
60
Banner.
engrams, and I keep getting that whole thing where it's like, what do you mean, like, look, I have one right here. Proof positive I've been playing Crucible.
He dabbled. There was a toe put into it. Even if you played Iron Banner, you would have got one.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
well,
they
I
were
actually
dropping
went
Iron
out of my
Banner
way
as well.
actually went out of my way to play regular Crucible to get the Crucible engrams to get even more rolls of it, and
But you also
it's just it's like, oh yeah, we know you want this roll, so we're going to give you half on this gun and half on the other, like 50 times. I'm just like, oh, you suck so much.
We call that the grasp of Malacca issue.
Oh yeah, well, that's true, I guess. But I did play a lot of Crucible, and I used the Tommy's Matchbook thing. It was okay. I also used
it takes a lot of practice, I think. When our age,
it was pretty intuitive once you realized that you had to rock the dance machines to make everybody radiant. Yeah, I mean, it's just radiant dance machines with the radiant dodge. Kind of just fits, right? But yeah, it was also making my team a lot deadlier too, which was kind of helping the overall gameplay, just because they're also radiant and whatnot. So it's not too hard to get into. You do have to know not to just hold down Tommy's Matchbook unless you're intentionally trying to get the damage buff, in which case, good luck, because I'm not going into a Crucible fight already critical health. What?
Why not?
Because I'm bad at Crucible? Duh.
That's the idea.
Yeah. I'll take any crutch I can get, including, not going in at a quarter health,
Well, I played some Iron Banner this week to catch up and try and gild my title, which I managed to reset my rank, which wasn't a problem. So I'd done that and I was quite happy about that. And I just needed one win. And I was like, it's at 98%. I just need the one win. So I thought, I've been playing on my Hunter, I've been playing on my Titan. I need to swap over to the Warlock, give him some pinnacles, just because, and get some, drops. And I thought, I enjoy playing on my Warlock. I normally kind of enjoy playing Warlock and Titan mainly, but this time I've been playing Hunter, Titan, and I just needed the one win. And I was like, I could do this. I've got like an hour or so. 6 games later. 6 games later, I was like, what has happened here? I'm in regular control, but I can't get one win. I'm doing everything that I possibly can to capture points. I'm like going
there's a
behind.
problem. You're
the only one.
Yeah,
you're the only one. That's why. Everyone else is playing out and then purposely running away from the objective like it has a terrible disease they don't want to have.
Yeah,
I mean, doesn't it?
I was like, it's just
yeah. I sat down and tried to get, because I was at like 80 I don't know, 82 or something % win from the last go round.
Yeah.
So I got my rank reset because that I had done. I had to actually turn in the reset, and then I was like, well, maybe I can try to get a couple games in that last day before a reset. And I was like, let me just see what happens. I think I got 2 or 3 wins, so I'm at like 90 something % now, but still just not quite there. Because there were so many games where we lost in the final moments of the game.
Yep.
By just not playing the game mode. And I tried, I tried some control and I tried the other one, I was like Gambit version. Yeah, Tribute going in. Let me just see if I have any better luck one way or the other. I actually had better luck with the Tribute because I think that was, I don't know, more clear to people or something going, hey,
like
kill
Gambit.
the things, pick them up, put them in the bank. That will at least do. Whereas control, we're just going, ew, why would I stand on a zone? I can't slay out and get my clips if I'm standing on a zone, just like waiting the objective. We lost a game. Like, we were up, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 points, like something, that should have been an easy win. We lost that game because I'm just watching our edge, slowly get eaten into by the other team. Really playing the objective and going, well, we had this win. If we just would have not screwed, that wasn't even they beat us. We just needed to not screw it up. And we couldn't not screw it up. Line. So, we tripped in the last half mile of that race. Every other step was a trip. Like it was, come on. It was bad. I'm like, okay. I'm like, next time this comes up, I'll devote, some decent time to it during the week because I don't need the reset or anything else. I just need to go get some wins. So maybe that'll work out. But yeah, you're thinking, oh yeah, I've got an hour or two. Let me just hop in and grab. No, you won't. It's a good thought, but it's not going to happen.
Oof.
Maybe all those people will go play Marathon, and then they can go over there, and then the rest of us can play the objectives. Huh?
No, that's not how that works. You know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, not at all.
Looking too much
dream. Dream, though.
We can dream. And we can also talk about the TWAB this week, as it is a TWAB, as Respawn pointed out, for the 10th of April. It's not the 1st of April, which would have been fitting, basically.
It's not the 8th of April, which would have been my birthday, but whatever.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Sorry.
I know everybody does because I don't advertise it.
No, but it's on my calendar, and I completely missed it. But I was focused on putting the videos out, and I just didn't look. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Anyway,
I don't have any friends anyway.
Just like your birthday, we're going to forget about Marathon because we're not here to talk about Marathon.
Yeah.
But Bungie are. So if you want to go and find out about it, there are some streamers that are doing it today. So if you listen to this on Monday or Tuesday, it's already there. It's already out. And some streamers gave away some codes to play the alpha. If I got codes, I'd play it and we'd talk about it. But if you go and watch somebody, you get an emblem. And again, it's a bit too late to kind of tell us on a Thursday. Maybe this should have been the previous week, Bungie. But, I see where you were going. We had to get the Heresy out of the way first before we could talk about Marathon.
It's important, yeah. So yeah. If you're a stream emblem completionist, there is one that we've had the code for last week, and also I think if you watch during this reveal at 1:00 today, and I think subscribe to one of the many people in the Marathon channel, you'll get a different emblem or a Twitch emblem, Twitch badge, something. So yeah, but that's the thing. So if you like kitty cats, there's more kitty cat things. And if you don't like kitty cats, then I don't know. You can shoot people with blue blood. I guess we'll find out. Respawn won't. Demon won't. Somebody will.
I mean, it depends on if it's good. I don't dislike, shooter games. Right? It's an extractor, and the only extractor that I really have any experience is
Division.
Thank you. Yes. I was already struggling to come up with ways to describe the game.
When we played it as a kind of clan, it was a complete mess up, to be honest. It was like, it's just like we went in with the intention of actually kind of working as a team to try and get out with the stuff, but other people were more ruthless and horrible to us.
Well, the thing about the extractions that I'm really not a fan of is the gameplay where they don't do anything. They just sit there and wait for you to call in the extraction, wait for like 3 seconds to be left, and then they kill you and not give you enough time to retaliate. That is the most scumbag way to play, in my opinion.
And I think, that was half the issue, wasn't it? It was like,
It's like, oh, we're
Not
going to
evil
take
enough.
advantage of the timer and whatnot. Nah, bro. Just nah.
Yeah, that feels like just how you play like that kind of game to a degree. You're just like, I could go do all the hard work, or I could just wait at the end.
Yeah,
and
like,
be
you to
the
bring
villain at
me
the
all
end
the
and be
good
like,
stuff.
thanks for you doing all the work, and now I'm the villain at the end of the movie going, well, now you've brought me all the things you've collected. Thanks. I'm just going to take them from you here at the end. But then
Yeah,
the hero
it needs
wins
to
at the
be
end of the
changed where
movie.
either you don't have a timer, right? Or, they can't steal from you like when you don't have enough time to retaliate kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like if they take it from you in 3 seconds, like the game should be like, oh, your team has been killed with 3 seconds left. Let's, reset the timer to another 60 seconds. Or if your extraction goes away, that's another thing. You called the extraction, right? So why do they get to take your extraction? If they killed you, they need to go to the other side of the map to their extraction point to pull it out, in which case you can sabotage their extraction. You know what I mean? For the fact that, bro, it's like me calling in a Black Hawk for air support and they help the Taliban. Like, no! What are you doing?
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you call them in and you're sitting in the wrong spot, you cannot get helped.
Well, yeah,
So
but
standing in the wrong spot.
You're not standing in the wrong spot. You're standing in the coordinates that they all know that you're going to be at. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, I mean, I hope Bungie does something like that. Like, if they fix the extraction like that, where even if they kill you, they not sabotage. They
Yeah, but then what's the
ambush.
incentive? What's the incentive for the opposite team to kind of do that?
The incentive should be you to get your own loot. Or, okay, the incentive is this, right? Let's say we run around the map, we get all the good stuff. They kill us at our extraction, right? They've still got all of our loot. They didn't have to go around running to get it all. All they had to do was kill us. Cool. But now they should have to go back to their extraction point and extract their loot from their side. Kind of like, like we in
Gambit.
Destiny, where you get Gambit is one way to look at it, or the not even Gambit though, where you gotta dunk the exploding ball before you get killed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. You gotta go to your side, Rift. Yeah. So that's how it should be. You should only be able to extract at your zone, not somebody else's zone. And I think that would make it more fair, because that would give them a chance to go to your zone and try to re-ambush you to get their stuff back. That's the way I think. It's a personal opinion, but it'd be better than the formula that Division used, as far as like scamming people out of their stuff at the last second before the helicopter comes. And people's like, oh, just get good and kill them first. Well, you can't always do that, especially if they get the jump on you. If you don't know they're there and they get the jump on you, what are you going to do? They've already got first 20, 30 shots on you. You're probably already dead or close to it, right? There's not really a whole getting good when it comes to that. You got ambushed. Hence the name ambush. You don't have really any way to retaliate, because once they've already started firing upon you, you've already taken all that damage, So, whatever. I'm salty because I played a lot of the Division and I hated the Dark Zone or the Dead Zone or whatever it was called.
Dark Zone,
yeah. And it's just, I'm salty about it. I'll admit.
But the good thing is we don't need to talk about it because this isn't a marathon podcast.
Yet.
We can talk about Destiny. And this week in Destiny, or as I'm still going to call it the TWAB, Act 3 reaches its epic conclusion. Trials of Cyrus doubles its loot, and the restrictions and ban policy has been updated. So, if you like us and you've kind of either finished the story or not finished the story, it's a cool story. So go and do it. But if you want to kind of commemorate this, you can go to Displate and buy the exclusive episode Heresy Displate, which is the season art of you running up tentacles up to the Dreadnought and trying to defeat some Taken and Dread. And looks like we're underwater, and there was none of that. But
Yet.
I mean, it's over.
Well, you say it's over, but we have had a couple of seasons where it has been. We've got to the end of the season, and they've done an epilogue, and we've had to do something else, or there's been another part of the mission, which I think they probably will do for this, because a lot of people were thinking that we were going to be navigating the Dreadnought out of the system to get to where we were with Frontiers, which is the new expansion, which they are saying there's not going to be delayed. So there could still be, like, Act 3 has kind of concluded, Heresy has concluded, but there's nothing to say that Rite of the Nine, which is coming on May 6th, as we found out last week because Peroty looked it up, that kind of stuff leads into the 9 and us taking the Dreadnought or being able to go somewhere else. So there is still a possibility that there is more to the story after Heresy, but they're just not saying that it is, if you see what I mean.
No words there. So yeah, it is in fact called a TWAB again. So you're like, oh, I'm calling it a TWAB. Well, because it's called a TWAB again.
No, but
so
but then they go into the TWID this week in Destiny. They can only call it. They're only calling it a TWAB because they want to talk about Marathon for a little bit. That's it. That's the only reason. And then they talk about the TWID. So double the exalted truth. So that's good. That's the hand cannon that I was recommending about 3 weeks ago, that I recommended again last week, that can get the demoralized perk on it. So if you can get into trials before it disappears, I do recommend trying to do it. So if I look it up now, it has the demoralized perk, which is precision final blows cause nearby targets to become weakened in the 4th column, and pairing that with the destabilizing rounds, which is defeating targets creates a void burst, hitting other targets. The burst makes them volatile and grants you volatile rounds for a short duration. So that is a really good combination for PvE. And that's the one that I'm kind of trying to get. So hopefully I will be able to try and play some trials at some point. But yeah, so that they reiterate in the TWAB this week that's what's up this week. And then we have some restrictions and ban policies being updated. So Bungie's product security team is constantly updating tools, methods, and abilities to action cheaters within Destiny 2. This week, they're updating their account restrictions and ban policies to allow for the next iteration in our ability to combat bad actors within PvP and PvE. Going forward, permanent account bans and temporary restrictions will be implemented manually and through new automated processes. So there was a lot of kind of people that say that they automatically got banned, and people will, it was, some things have kind of been overturned, but sometimes we found that those people have been naughty and they're still lying about it. But so it sounds like it's a good thing that if they're manually doing this, which is, I'd say that's going to be quite hard to manually go through. But then when you have like the streamers like Grenada Jake going on stream and going, look, Bungie, there are cheaters in this lobby. I've played them. I've banned them. They're still back. Then, maybe that's a good thing that they could go, right, that's a manual ban that we could then kind of take action against these people. So,
I mean, that's something they've said is, if you've got, video clips of, I'm playing trials or I'm playing comp and here's what I'm seeing, send that to them. They can cross-reference, go, yep, looking at the back end, going, yeah, they're definitely doing something they shouldn't be. It just makes it easy, easier for them to help action those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't be naughty. Just, play the game.
Yeah.
The right way.
So we don't need to do the rest of it. Just that they're doing stuff. If you're being good, then you don't need to worry about it because you're being good. So, yeah.
Yeah. You're being good. You're playing it the way you should. And, you can just go, la, la, la. Don't have to care about this at all.
But if you think there's a hiccup, you can submit an appeal ticket.
And maybe they'll laugh at you on social media. Maybe not.
Yeah. Maybe we will.
Yeah. There were some people going on back and forth with them online this week, and they're just like, no. But I didn't do it. And they're just like, here's the policy.
Yeah.
Here's the policy.
No, but the thing is, they try and con them to say that they weren't cheating.
Right.
It's not like they're saying that, we know that
exactly.
we weren't cheating. They, people are going to lie. People are going to try and get out of it.
Yeah, I just appreciate that the Bungie just kept like, did the Destiny 2 team account was just like, here's a policy. Here's a link to the policy. Here's a screenshot to the policy. Here's a policy in interpretive dance. It's like, you still did it. We control the game. We know what you did. You can talk all you want about, I didn't, and I maybe shouldn't. No, like we've seen time and time again. If they made a mistake, they'll own up to it. If you're running cheats, if you're playing your single player game and running cheats on it, maybe don't launch Destiny. Which is, again, one of the people I saw saying something, well, I was running blah 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 on this single player game that I'm doing, and I launched Destiny. I'm like, well, you had cheats going, you had Destiny going. Don't do that at the same time. You just don't do it. Problem solved. Like, this is your fault. This is not Destiny going, them picking things up. They're going, you're running cheese, you're running Destiny at the same time. Don't.
I actually had to stop using a thing that I use for all it does is it puts a customizable vibrant colored target on your screen, like a little red dot on your screen, something high vis for people like me that I'm constantly losing my cursor, right? Well, that same company that I've been using forever decided to, in that same program, implement you have to pay for it, obviously. Well, it's not obvious, but you have to pay for it. But it is a an auto targeting system. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me!
Hey, that thing that wasn't going to be banned. Guess what? Update. Now you can be banned. And yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, if you're using something for one thing, make sure when it updates, you know what it's doing. Which is, I mean, the risk of. I'm going to say the risk of playing on PC. If you're playing on console, you're playing on console. Unless you've done something to your console, by and large, you're having the same experience the rest of us are. But yeah, if you're running stuff on the PC, that's you're running stuff on the PC. This is I don't know how you sandbox those things from your game, or just be real sure you're opening things where you think you're opening them. But yeah. So
make sure that the games or the apps that you're using are still doing the things that they were doing before, and not giving you new quote features that you don't want.
It's better. It's more amazing. It'll definitely get you banned from the game. Although there's a part of my anxious brain that every time they're like, we've rolled out a new things of changes, I'm sitting here going, oh god, I hope it's not me. Even though I've never done anything even to remotely put me in risk of it, my anxious brain is like, it's not me though, right? Like there's nothing I've done that maybe could make this thing happen. It's like, no, of course not.
Did you get suspiciously better at PvP in the course of an hour?
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, no, not at all. Don't worry. Oh no, my rundown. Yeah, no, I haven't win traded with my account. I haven't given it to anyone else. Yeah, no, that's just the anxiety talking. I'm like, honestly, even if they did, I'd be like, well, okay, well, that was a good run. I'm like, this is a sign. Maybe just say, we could just step away.
That would be
take the moment of freedom.
That would be devastating for me. All the stuff that I've had to work so hard for, grind for, and things like that. Like to give somebody else my account just for like a PvP thing, and then you get banned because of that. You lose all the stuff that you've worked so hard for. What I would assume would be years to get. It's just all gone. Unless you're trying to start over and you're looking for a reason, like, oh, I'll roll the dice if Bungie bans me. It'll give me a reason to restart. I don't know if you're a psychopath, whatever. But yeah, who would want to risk losing all of their stuff? Honestly, for what? For someone to run your character through a raid? For someone to get you a trials chest or something? Right? Like, is it worth losing all of your stuff? I would say no, but
probably not.
Yeah, but some people used to kind of do that all the time. They're like,
but back then there wasn't a real big threat of getting banned for it. Now, if you're going to get banned for it, I mean, do you want to? Is that a thing that you're willing to risk? I would say no, honestly, personally. But I'm a bit of an odd duck, so, who knows?
Yeah, don't do the naughty things and you won't get yourself banned.
Exactly.
And before we get to what's broken, which is probably what's been broken, we'll get to what's fixed, because there are a couple things fixed this week.
Ooh.
They fixed in our patch 8.2.5.4. They fixed the issue where panels for access override puzzle number 3 were immune in preventing progress in the Vespers Host dungeon. They fixed the issue where the regular versions of Palindrome and Lotus Eater would drop with double perks. Boo. Fix an issue where reloading weapons with the runneth over origin trait would eventually cause Destiny 2 to run out of memory.
I like that.
Apparently you're running over your RAM buffers or something as well. So yeah, apparently you can crash the game by causing D2 to run out of memory with a runneth over origin trait. And finally, they fixed an issue where 2 Shreds was errantly buffing any ability damage. To Shreds, you say?
Bearded Geronimo says, boosting is a problem that self-identifies over time. If you didn't do the grind to get the thing, there's going to be a skill issue that others will notice. Not so much for aim bots. Well, I mean, like I said, it has the feature of having the aimbot I didn't install the aimbot, but because Bungie knows that program exists with an aimbot, how are they going to know whether or not I'm using said aimbot? I mean, are they going to be like, oh, yeah, he misses 90% of his shots, right? But he's using an aimbot.
He must be a Titan.
Yeah. Titan or Force then.
Yeah. If he's a hunter, then yeah, he's cheating.
Yeah. Even while missing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the that program is going on a list somewhere that says if you're running this executable, you know, not to say are, but could potentially be cheating. So you're going to get swept up with everybody else who is no, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Yeah, no, you were running a program that could cheat. It's not Bungie's job to prove that you were using it to cheat. But if you're running it, if you're launching Destiny and it's running, they're like, well, you're probably cheating. We're just going to ban you and call it good because we don't have to care about what you're doing. So yeah,
Facts.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Problem solved. Don't do it. Security people do not care for your whining.
So I've heard. As a matter of fact, like you said earlier, they'll put you on online and have people laugh at you.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they're putting themselves online, and now we're all just laughing at them. Just like we're laughing at the known issues list of the Sunless Cell Grandmaster still not being available in the Fireteam Finder. Can't find a Fireteam. Too dark. Some bosses don't spawn in the Court of Blades at all, leading to a soft lock. Some of them are just like, no, we're not interested in participating at all.
Wow.
I think they've just seen what happens to the other bosses in the Court of Blades, and they're not interested. They're like, I'm sorry, I did not sign up for this, and I'm not interested.
They have no interest in those Girl Scout cookies.
Rocket sidearms don't deal self-damage on some occasions.
That's intentional, though, right?
Which feels like a feature, but
no,
yeah.
They're meant to.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. No, because there was an update where they took that away. They took away it's in the actual one of the updates. Because I didn't know either until somebody pointed it out to me. They're like, no, they're not supposed to hurt you anymore. And then somebody sent me a link, which I will not be able to find right now. But it showed that they removed the self damage, like intentionally. So if it sounds like the fact that you're getting hurt sometimes is the problem, unless I was sent like a troll link or something. But yeah, no, I mean they said that they removed self damage from rocket sidearms intentionally.
Well, I'm just telling you the words that they're telling me to say, so make of that what you will.
Okay.
Just use the rocket sidearms, but don't shoot a wall or have your teammate run in front of you. Problem solved. Not frozen approved. When speaking to a vendor, you can hear their ambient dialogue. The Ionic Sentry sometimes doesn't chain lightning. Listen, we've been over steps 6 and 9. Nice. Of the Drowning Labyrinth quest. You just can't do it. Been there forever. In the Derealize exotic mission, your taking relic still can sometimes drop below in the Vrisk encounter. Shrieker bosses, you think you're getting crit damage. No, you're not. It's regular damage in the Sunder Doctrine dungeon.
Still, that's rough.
When tracking Ikora's Drowning Labyrinth quest, certain steps may stop progress on the next steps still. Sometimes your Tome of Want, a primer quest, doesn't get past steps 3 and 4. It just doesn't want to. Your memento shaders, you can still put them on armor. They're still not coming to armor. One of my very favorites. The Honor of Hercules ornament right boot is angled incorrectly, so the leather strap does not fit the boot. One of my very favorites. Just Bungie never fix that. In fact, make more things wrong, just purposely, just to mess with people. And then your Seeking Filaments and your Spirit of Filaments can't grant devour while the Facet of Protection is equipped. So yeah, that's what fixed. That's what's broken. Very, very short 12 this week. If you want to make your hunter look like a kitty cat, you can, but Bungie has the way. And lots of artwork about pink kitty cats this week and doggos. And see, we're back to the TWAB. See, Bungie called it a TWID. We never changed. So see, if you just goes again, he proves if you wait long enough, all good things come to you.
I hate the fact that object works for you so well.
I'm just saying, it's going to keep working. I'm going to keep rolling with it. And they're going to see us on Tau Ceti. And they signed this one off the Marathon and Destiny 2 community teams. So I assume our TWAB will be a TWAB going forward. And we'll pretend to care about Marathon, but not really. Just kidding. We're here for Destiny. Marathon can exist,
is Destiny here for us? Because, I mean, all these things that have been... the Sunder Doctrine issues alone How long has the Sundered Doctrine, Sundered Doctrine been out? And it still has these basic problems, like crit hits not being registered. It's been months, Bungie!
How long could the hunters not use their shadow shot in the last dungeon?
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like
That long. Well, it's interesting. I saw, and I'm not going to remember where I saw this week because I've watched. It might have been Houndish's video. There were a couple of videos I watched of different people, talking about, hey, Bungie being a multi-IP studio again, and Marathon getting released, and making the point where, yeah, like to get Marathon up and off the ground is a lot of work. It's a lot of dev time. It's a lot of making this thing happen. But depending what an extraction shooter is a different thing than a live service game. Where, I'm assuming it's going to have, some level of, updates and things. Again, not being an extraction shooter player, but I assume they have to do, balancing passes and, all the same things we've seen in PvP stuff just to keep the game fresh and interesting. And I don't want to use the word balanced, but, knocking down the super prevalent things and bringing up the things that nobody wants to use. But there's a hope too. And I think it was Houndish that was saying this, but forgive me, I don't remember who it was. Basically saying, like, once the game launches, the needs of Marathon may go, basically the balance may shift back to Destiny. Going, hey, we've got the game up and running, we've got the game launched. Keeping a thing going is a different set of tasks and a different, number of teams. Some of which we know are integrated in with Sony now, so they're getting, I think, I would assume some of the infrastructure and stuff. The guys running the servers and networking and stuff. Some of those are Bungie folks, but some of those have to be Sony folks too. So they're able to, sort of offload some of that maybe from their teams to Sony, or at least it's a different, different kind of work to integrate that stuff in. So maybe once Marathon is sort of out in the world and launches and is making its own money, supporting itself, which is just financially a thing they need to be concerned with. That the shift of developer time and effort may go back toward Destiny now that they've launched the thing. So. Not to say it's going to happen, but it'll be interesting to see once the game goes live. And if the game does well, because that'll be the other piece. If it doesn't do well, then, more layoffs probably. But if the game launches and does well, we may see, more love coming back to Destiny as more people are able to focus on the Destiny side of the house than Marathon getting this game, brand new IP spun up and out into the world.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way that's the way it looks at the moment, is that everything kind of has paused with Destiny, and it's kind of, let's get focused on this. The whole team gets focused on this, even though it shouldn't be, because, as far as we were concerned or led to believe, that there's two teams. One's got one director here, one's got one director there. So, I mean, I get it that they want to kind of push people towards the hype for this new game, but at the end of the day, just it's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, but as a dev, right? And I'm not a dev. I know a little bit about programming, but I am not a dev, right? But I would assume, and yes, I'm using that word, that if you want people to come play your game, right? Let's say, oh yeah, Bungie's coming out with a new game, Marathon, and then somebody would be like, yeah, but did you see what they did with Destiny? Like, you would want people to have a good taste in their mouth when it comes to your game. But if you're just going to kind of just F off one game to very much work on another.
The PvP side and what they've been known for Halo, I think is one of the things that is one of their
staples.
Well, like it's one of their standout things, what they're known for.
Yeah. I mean, Destiny is at this point a 11-year-old going on 12-year-old game. It's been around for forever. I mean, in that same time period, how many Halos did we get? And I'm partially asking rhetorically because I don't know the answer to that question.
4 or 5 that they developed, wasn't it?
But yeah. So
and ODST, I think, as well as 1, 2, and 3.
Right. Yeah.
And
So
handed over.
Yeah. So in that time, you would be a Destiny 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever by this point. There would be new games, new starting points. I mean, we're still supporting older. My Xbox One X can still play this game. My probably original Xbox, Xbox One could still play this game. Like, they haven't pulled the plug on those old consoles yet. Like, this is I don't want to say I'm like a marvel in a way of how long they've run support for this game and how many things this supports, where they're not kicking you off your consoles or not kicking you off your older stuff. They're saying you can still play. Yeah, your experience may not be great, but you can still play it. Whereas, if this was, Destiny 7, it'd be like, oh yeah, no, you need to have the new stuff to get, Destiny 5 and above because we've just cut support for all that. And Bungie has a good pedigree with shooters. I mean, they're known for Halo. They're known for Marathon, the original one back in the day. Like, Destiny is a good shooter. I mean, that's one thing people have always said about the game is, even in Solid States, the gunplay, the shooting aspects, how it feels is one of its selling points. And if you're saying, hey, we're going to cut out all of the, all that pesky PvE nonsense and just make a straight shooter game, that could be very attractive. Again, I know next to nothing about the extraction shooter genre. I know it's a particular thing. Is it a thing that everybody wants and will it be a big seller? We'll all wait and see. But the ability is certainly there.
And the thing is, if they don't do what they did with Destiny and have too many weapons, if they keep it like Halo, where they stick to a select number of weapons and not try and kind of add different perks and things to really complicate, because that is part of the reason why Destiny is so hard to balance with all the kind of the supers and all the different weapons and all the different perks. It's a very fine line that they have to kind of do with the game. And if they can go back to what they used to do with Halo, which again made it an esports game, just have the regular weapons with the standard loadouts with the standard perks, I think that would work for them.
Is that what Halo was? Everything was standard. But I mean, can you go back to that model though? Right? Because even games like
because Halo is still like that now.
Hell out of it. You
pick up the battle rifle, you pick up the sidearm. It's all the same. I mean, the slight iterations from each Halo.
The battle rifle you grab is the battle rifle everybody else has. The sniper rifle you grab is the sniper rifle everybody else has. It's not like you've got 17 variations of every weapon of everything.
Yeah.
And even you can choose a special ability, but there's not multiple classes with entire skill sets and supers and skill trees that you're unlocking and you're having to adjust for. I mean, it would be like trying to balance Halo 1 through Halo 5 in one game, in one PvP sandbox and going, this can all play together. And I mean, Halo is a much simpler game in terms of what just your options and your customizability of your character and weapons and loadouts and things. And even that, I'm sure, would run into, you run into issues and it's just a trillion less variables than this. To say nothing of, again, running the game for 14 years or, 11 years at this point.
Halo's just cosmetic armor. There was nothing there's no stats to the armor that would help you, have an overshield quicker and things like that. It was all pickups from the game that everybody else had access to at the same time. So it wasn't like anybody started the match with an advantage over somebody else. And if they can do that with Marathon, then, it's going to be a winner. Division was very similar, but then they went down the route of, you could build into having armor sets and then weapons with different perks, I think. And, you could craft those weapons or extract bits out of those weapons to put in other weapons. And it was a good game. It was very complicated, but it was like Destiny and an extraction shooter. And like you pointed out, if people were kind of doing the way that they were doing it, it became less fun to play against them with the extractions.
I mean, Divisions is the same thing like Destiny. There's a big PvE aspect of it too. You're running around the rest of the world. The Dark Zone was only a part of that game, and some of it that is just gamer nature. I mean, we see in Destiny all the time. People are going to min-max the fun out of the game. They're going to min-max it to the point where they can get the most reward for the least time investment or whatever. And if that's wait until 5 seconds is left on the clock or 10 seconds left on the clock, and then you ambush the team and see all their stuff and pick it up. That's exactly what people are going to do. I mean, that's what gamers have always done. Said what's the most efficient way to win? To give myself a winning situation. And if that's it, then that's what it is. And that's that you can't really engineer out of the game. That's what's the tactics change, but
if
the
they have
behavior
to
isn't.
extract in a different spot though, right? Letting them use your extraction to steal your gear is asinine after they've ambushed you.
Yeah, but isn't that the whole point of the extraction shooter? Is some of it's just a rate, getting the stuff and getting out and having that competition at the end. Again, I am in nowhere near a shooter player at this point or an extraction shooter player. So I'm sure there's a lot of it that I don't quite understand the nuances of, but that feels like that's sort of part of the idea is that competition right to the end and then trying to get out. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, whether again, we the three of us haven't seen anything from this game other than the trailer that everybody else has seen.
Kitty!
So yeah, exactly, a pink kitty cat and blue blood. So I mean, we'll see what it is, and if it's maybe it's something we're interested in, maybe not. But it's interesting, and I hope Bungie's successful with it, because if it's successful, it's only going to mean good things for Destiny, because then they have another thing that makes them money, and it's not just a drain on the studio. So I hope it's successful. I hope the launch goes great, and I hope it finds a crowd. And if it gets some of the better PvP players out of my Destiny lobby, I wouldn't be sad. Looking at it from a completely selfish angle.
Yeah, but if Marathon ends up being good, then you'll play that, and then all the sweaties will be there.
Even the Marathon's good again. Like I'm not out here playing Fortnite, and I'm not out here playing Marathon.
Fortnite is
extraction,
really
extraction shooter.
Somebody gets shot in Fortnite, they build a freaking Taj Mahal to hide themselves immediately.
Still though, I mean, I'm not out here playing competitive shooters, no matter what they are. So, I want it to go well, because I want the game that I love and have spent the last decade of my life playing to continue to exist and be supported and be fun. And I want my Destiny to live.
Live, damn you, live! It's on the table. He's just shocking it with paddles.
It's not that bad just yet.
No, not yet. But I mean, look. They need to do something about like everything they bring into this game is just broken from the
Not
get-go.
everything. Not everything.
Okay.
Well, I mean, again, because
I'm being hyperbolic, but you know what I mean. I mean, we've had the same.
Yeah, I mean, because financially, I mean, they're not doing great financially. They laid off a ton of people, and a ton of those people were QA. Things go better. You make more money. You can hire QA people.
I understand the QA is a thing, right? But Peroty's known issues list. You could record him this week and play for the next 3 weeks, dude. Right?
Oh,
it's
totally.
the same stuff that's broken, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the QA didn't catch it on release. Fair enough. But they've known that it's been in the game for months now. You don't need QA at this point. You know it's broken. You need a team to fix it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's also QA. To test the fixes. You're out developing a fix, you test the fix, it works some things, it breaks something else. I mean, it's like they've talked about. I mean, this is a shambling game that's been alive for a decade. And they're trying to balance a decade worth of decisions, made by people who are long gone and everything else. You introduce a fix, and it's like they said, like I think when they were trying to fix the shadow shot thing, say, hey, we've introduced this fix, and that broke a whole bunch of other things. I mean, it's like, you take one Jenga block out, and you say, does the whole thing fall down, or is it still mostly okay? I mean, we can beat this horse to death. I want the game to be successful, because I want Bungie to be successful, because I want my game to exist and thrive and do better.
But one of the things that makes the game interesting is when it works,
Mm-hmm.
I think Cheese would kind of disagree with you on that one. Interesting things happen when it's not working.
Yeah.
Interesting things for our benefits. Okay, I'll give you that. But anytime something interesting happens for our benefit, that is the thing they focus on. Like, oh wait, you mean you can cheese this? Okay, guys, we're gonna fix this in 5 minutes. Oh wait, you still can't do critical hits on a boss after a month and a half? We'll just let that one slide. What?
Well, I mean, to be fair, that boss is having done that dungeon a couple times now. It just doesn't take that long. I'm sitting here with a bow melting that boss, so.
You're sitting there with a bow behind a Titan shield that brings down lightning bolts and hellfire, okay?
Yeah.
We are not the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't. If it was actually doing the critical hit damage, the boss, they should just take the boss out, because it's not a boss at that point. It's going, oh, I'm sorry, you're a tiny speed bump to me being successful.
Yeah, but the thing about it is you're a Titan, and right now Titans have the Titan thing where they can just hide behind the shield and do gobs of damage, right? Mm-hmm. But for anybody who's not a Titan, normally we like to use crit hits.
Yeah. Why are
you would still need a Titan in there, though. That's the thing, right?
Yeah,
you don't always have a Titan in your party, or sometimes you're doing it by yourself and you don't.
That sounds
you
like a personal failing.
It sounds like a Bungie failing, because you need to fix the damn crit spot.
Nah, personal failing.
So because Bungie broke their game, I'm the one that's failing. How does that work?
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, no.
You just explained to me how it
No.
works.
No,
Again,
it doesn't work. That's the flaw in the argument. Is it doesn't work. The
I'm
whole point of
experiencing
it
no
is the fact that
issues.
it doesn't work.
I'm experiencing no issues. I don't know what your problem is.
You are
Good
an
scrub.
issue.
A known issue every week. So yeah, that's kind of why we're waffling about, because
It's really
there's
not
something
else to
else.
talk about.
There's something else from Bungie. I looked for videos this week, and I'm
got
sure
a
they're
couple.
out there.
I've got a couple.
I knew you would. I mean, I watched a couple. Like I watched the Vice video on the lore of some things, and some of them were marathon, just to be like, what even is this? But yeah. So what have you watched this week? What should the people be watching?
Well, in honor of Respawn, we have some Hunter ones, because he was asking for Hunter builds the other week when he came back to play.
Hunter PvP specifically.
Yeah. Well, you know, PvE, PvP, and it's from one of your favorite streamers and content creators, Sneaky Beaver.
Yeah, he is.
Dyad blades. He's got a really cool blade build with your Baradiad and your Beyblades, and it looks really cool. And I'm going to try it. It's a PvE solo grandmaster kind of build.
Yeah.
So if you're in a team of people with it, it works really well.
I already know
And
the build he's
also-
going to use, and without even having a look, because I have a
he's
Beyblade
put the
build,
video
and
together.
all
We've
I got to
talked
do
about
is
this
swap my
together.
weapon out.
We've
with
talked
the
about this
Pharaoh
before.
Triad.
He's put the video together for other people to check out, not for you to go, I already know. So I'm going to just do it. So other people might not know. And then Kodak has also got the Infinite Threadlings build for the Warlocks. Because
I did see
it's
that.
it's all been about the Titans for many months now. So I thought we need a Warlock, we need a Titan build. There you go. There's some really cool PvE
You
builds.
mean a Hunter? You
One-
said we
one
need
for
a
you?
Warlock, we need a Titan.
Oh, damn it. Hunters. Titans on the brain.
Yeah.
And then Fallout Plays did some good testing this week with shotguns and fusion rifles with closing time. And is it bad now? Well, I think in Fallout's view, it isn't bad now, but go and watch the video because there are some kind of slight tweaks to the weapons. And if you care about the numbers and the distances, he's got it all for you.
I love that guy.
Yeah. And then I was looking through my list of people to kind of go through and look what they've put out this week. Mellow Mally has done some videos this week of Duo, Root of Nightmares, first encounter and second encounter. And there's a couple of tries in there, but they look really cool. And I'm like, we tried this as 6 players and we couldn't get it to work. God knows how
too many cooks in the kitchen, dude.
Yeah, God knows how you guys have done it as a duo. So hats off to her and her partner that have done this and put some videos. So I'll put those in the show notes for you guys to check out because
Was
it's
she
really
just
cool.
using a bow to do this whole thing?
No.
I'm going to guess lightning. Lightning
She's
is the
good with a
answer.
bow.
You're thinking of Sammy Cat.
Yeah.
I am thinking of Sammy Cat. My bad.
Oh, jeez.
Mellow Mally, Sammy Cat, same person.
Yeah.
Same
Look,
person.
man, I have memory issues. All right. There's not a lot of female streamers out there, so I just, whatever.
Mellow Mally was one of our patrons.
Oh, that's right.
You know the lady that kept emailing us every week, and she's forgot to do that now. She's dropped off. She doesn't care about us anymore.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Out here 2-manning raids. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
We're not out here doing that.
We're not.
We haven't tried, have we?
There's
haven't
3 of us.
tried, haven't succeeded. Either way.
I'll be in the peanut gallery. I'll watch. I'll judge.
2-man Crota, here we go.
Yep.
We'll still fail.
I believe in y'all. I'll support y'all.
I don't believe in us.
Our patrons do, though.
Yes.
Yeah. They absolutely do. Our lovely, wonderful patrons who put up with us, who beg for streams every week, who get to play the game of, is Respawn at his house? Is he on a plane? And will we find out before we press the record button? You can tune in every week, just like Renard Calant and Zep Orbit, who cannot be threatened with a good time. Our Otter Dance Troop egging them on of the Scarlet KM and Dedicated WM64. Our grenade throwers of Golden God 1562, Noble, Fire Squad 1688, The Man Conan from Texas, and Farrell, and Deacon's Day 1 raid team of Gravy Jeff. He could probably solo the raid. He's got this. No problem. We appreciate all and every one of our lovely patrons who have gone to patreon.com/TTAH and said, We appreciate this madness. We want to contribute to this madness. Please keep the madness going. So thank you to each and every one of you lovely human beings.
This is your weekly rundown of episode Heresy, week 11, starting on April 15th. Act 3 of episode Heresy's story has now concluded, but Guardians can continue to explore the Dreadnought, conquer the Sun Cell Strike, and fight back the Hordes in the Court of Blades. As a reminder, the new PvP mode Heavy Metal is due later in Act 3, and new activity Rite of Night is due on May 6th. Act 2 of episode Heresy brought with it the new activity the Court of Blades. Set within the Dreadnought's Hold of Souls area, players are transported to different arenas across the system, from Io to Europa, and on board a Hive warship. The Court of Blades comes with different augments and armaments in each run, which can be different combinations every time. The difficulty of the court starts to escalate after every 2 challenges, and is available in normal and expert versions, with adept versions of the Act 2 weapons only dropping in the expert version. Also, the Grandmaster Nightfall node is available, giving Guardians the opportunity to complete their Conquest Seal for this episode. With this node becoming available, this will give Guardians the chance to jump ahead and complete Act 3's Nightfalls. These being the Insight Terminus on Nessus week 13, April 29th, Warden of Nothing on the Dreaming City week 14, May 6th, and the reprised Destiny 1 Dreadnought Strike the Sunless Cell, week 15, May 13th, 2025. Or conversely, you'll be able to complete Act 1's Grandmasters which are now not available, Hypernet Current on Europa, Heist Battlegrounds Mars, and the Sarps Battlegrounds Cosmodrome. Act 1 of episode Heresy brought with it the new 3-player activity, the Nether. Set within the Dreadnought Patrol Zones, Guardians fight in random and varied encounters with different events and objectives every time. Inside the Nether, players will find unique modifiers and stackable buffs called boons. They increase your power over time. These come in minor, major, and corrupted versions, and various pickups can be hidden in chests and earned throughout the Dreadnought. The Nether has 3 modes: the Nether Exploration for those solo types who want to just explore the Dreadnought, a match-made mode on baseline advanced difficulty, and a selectable non-match-made expert version. From Act 3 of episode Revenant, we have the new exotic mission Kel's Fall, where you can earn the new Void exotic shotgun Slayer's Fang, and new Prison of Elders challenge Kel's Vengeance, which can be found over in the Last City for 2 to 3 players. Act 2 of episode Revenant brought with it the Tomb of Elders, and Contest of Elders over in the Last City, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of Act 2. Also available for a weekly pinnacle is the Salvation Jade Raid, over in the Pale Heart, and new dungeon Sundered Doctrine, which can be found over on the Throne World, with the exotic linear fusion rifle Finality's Ager up for grabs, and a whole suite of new weapons and armour. Just make sure to visit Icor over in the tower to pick up the quest Drowning Labyrinth to enter. Over in the Last City we have Onslaught Salvation, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of the opening act of Revenant. This new version of Onslaught brings with it new defences, 3 new mats and new enemies to fight. You can select from Widow's Court, Eventide Ruins and Kel's Grave, either normal or expert. Also, the original Onslaught has been updated to include some of the new additions. Located in the Vanguard playlist, the featured Onslaught map this week will be Midtown, with the Field Razor Tormentor kicking off the boss rotation. In the Last City on the Helm, the exotic mission Encore is still available, with 2 difficulty options, normal and expert. Also, from episode Echoes, we have the 3 new battleground activities, Delve, Conduit and Core, with Enigma Protocol and Breach Executable. The expert battlegrounds will start this week's rotation with Delve. The Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Ria Silvia and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blind World features Taken enemies and the Plague Oinamina. The Ascendant challenge will be the Keep of Honed Edges over in the Harbinger Seclude. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep. The Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Hawkis in the Anchor of Light. Nightmare hunts Fogoth, Fear, Ghoul, Rage, and Tanix Isolation. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Fogoth and the Blasphemer Shotgun. On Europa this week, Praxisi Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. Dares of Eternity expert difficulty rounds are Hive, Vex, and Valister Arc. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Pathfinder armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with weapon set 4. Fractithis, Chrysia Amilo, Volpicula, Wolftone Draw, Iotona Draconis, Canis Major, Contingency Plan, Legal Action 2, Outrageous Fortune, Steel Syllabus C14, and Spoiler Alert. The Witch Queen Weekly Story mission is the Communion, Altar of Reflections Catalyst, and Altar of Reflections Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on attack, with the Arc Auto Rifle Come to Pass and Goldmag Hive Ogre as the boss. The Lightfall Weekly mission is Downfall, the Partition mission will be Hard Reset, and the Vex Incursion will be Liming Harbour. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is still available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The Final Shakes Cooperative Focus campaign mission this week will be Ascent. The 12 Guardian Match-Made Excision mission is also available next to the race for a weekly pinnacle, with the Grandmaster version granting the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Salvation Edge Raid Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter repository called Balanced Diet. The Kingsfall Raid Challenge this week is the 5th encounter Oryx called Hands Off. The Val the Disciple Challenge this week is the 1st encounter Acquisition called Swift Destruction. The Vault of Glass Challenge this week is the 1st encounter Confluxes called Wait For It. The Garden of Salvation Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter Consecrated Mind called Staying Alive. And the last Swiss Challenge this week is the 5th encounter Riven called Strength of Memory. Featured Pinnacle Raid 1 will be Root of Nightmares over on Neptune. And featured Pinnacle Raid 2 will be the Deepstone Crypt over on Europa, with all challenges available for all encounters, with the Exotic Shotgun Conditional Finality being farmable from the final boss in Nightmares, and the Exotic Rocket Launcher Eyes of Tomorrow from the final boss in Crypt. Featured Pinnacle Dungeon 1 will be the Pit of Heresy on the Moon, and featured Pinnacle Dungeon 2 will be the Ghost of the Deep in the Legends tab. The Exotic Mission Rotator will be Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger Exotic Grenade Launcher being the main reward, the Season of the Risen's weapon set, plus the Tusk Allegiance armor set. The exotic missions, the Whisper and 0 Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. This week's challenges are Mod Collector, Gotta Win Them All, Kinetic Forces, and Ability Slayer. Lost Sectors, Tuesday Thrillerdrome on Neptune, Wednesday The Broken Deep in the Pale Heart, Thursday The Blooming Deep in the Pale Heart, Friday Bunker E15 on Europa, Saturday Perdition on Europa, Sunday Vel's Labyrinth on the Cosmodrome, and Monday Exodus Garden 2A on the Cosmodrome. The Grandmaster Nightfalls continue this week with our 11th featured Nightfall, which will see us face off against Korosek, Thronebringer in the Psyops Battlegrounds Moon, with the Shadow Prize Ultra Rifle as the featured adept weapon. The 6v6 playlist will be Control. The 6v6 quick play mode should be Zone Control, Elimination should be in the Small Teams quick play, and Relic could also be available, with Trials of Osiris at the weekend. This week should also see bonus Vanguard Reputation and double Nightfall rewards available all week long. And as a reminder, the annual Moments of Triumph continue, with a collection of 33 challenges celebrating everything you've been able to achieve in this past year. If you've been active, you'll likely already have some of these completed, which just gets you closer to the 26 you'll need to earn the 2024 seal and title. Still available is the Destiny 10th Anniversary in-game celebration event, and don't forget to keep an eye on Zer this Friday at Reset to see if he's offering another chance to grab a random rolled exotic class item for 41 strange coins. And that's it for the 11th week of the Final Shape episode Heresy.
And we do have a Respawn Report Roundup this week.
Huzzah! Yay! All right. Okay, so the first thing we have, it says D2 news and updates. Accurate. Second thing we have is Bungie help update. Update to fix the launch into all areas of the Nether, including the bounce, and hull breach, have been successfully deployed. It says please report any issues to a link, probably the Bungie help forum.
Mm-hmm.
Then it says regarding the Heresy Heretic title, where some Dreadnought collectibles are not currently available. There's going to be a fix on April 22nd to fix that. Yeah, okay.
So sometime in the next 10 days, maybe you can finish that off once they, add the collectibles to the Dreadnought.
Perhaps, whatever. Oh yeah, the things you're looking for, they kind of don't exist. Are bad.
They don't even go here.
A bit of an oversight on their part, I'll give it, right?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay, as at Bungie gets ready for at Marathon the game stream this week, and remember that every Guardian can get a Marathon themed emblem with M:/ greater than sign start using this code. And it is Juliet, November Delta, Hotel Lima Romeo, and Lima 69. That will give you a fluorescent green symbol on an all black background if you're into that kind of thing. And then we have Peroty with screenshots. Are these screenshots, Peroty?
They sure are. They are pretty pictures.
Okay. Got some not Bungie exclusive, but Peroty exclusive news here. He's taking some screenshots that say buff conditional finality. Destiny 2 says it's not April 1st anymore. For those of you that don't live in America, I don't know if this is strictly an American thing, but April 1st is called April Fool's Day.
No, it's not just you. Everybody has it.
Okay, fair enough.
Stop being selfish.
I didn't know. I'm being selfish. I'm trying to be,
what about you guys?
Not selfish. Oh my God, shut up. Also, it is all about us. Anyway, reducing. It says, how about giving TLW?
Last word.
Oh, the last word, 99 range. Destiny 2 team says reducing it to 0.99 range. Got you. Flux says nerf loader wolves in PvE. Destiny says why? I love that. Should be answer they should have more often. Why? Exactly. Best answer they've ever given. Heather says, curious, will bounties carry over to Frontiers? Destiny 2 said maybe, maybe not.
Have we remembered to take them out, that is?
Right. Frontiers now later in 2025, not summer of 2025. Oof. Where TWAB says check it. Don't read too deep into that. It's still in the summer. Okay, there you go. So it's still summer 2025. It looks like someone just mistyped it.
Yeah, but is it summer 2025, August 31st, September 1st, kind of?
Keep reading.
It's
Maybe we'll find
the
out.
Summer. Also, they don't specify if it's the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere summer. Like
Keep reading.
Right?
Keep reading.
Okay. Says yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Hope we get the edit in fast enough to avoid him putting out the headline. Calm down, Paul. Calm down. Okay. Says Codename Frontiers Summer 2025. Stay tuned, Guardians. Still got work to do, and holy hell, marathon reveal this weekend. Can't wait. You have Paul Tassi. Okay, I get it. You have Destiny 2's team that says summer, and then they say what year, and it says 2025, what month, redacted. Okay, so whatever month we have that is a redacted month, that's when it's coming out. Must be a new month. It's got to be the Mayan calendar, I'm assuming. They have a redacted month, right?
New month dropping.
Yeah, new month dropping. New phone, who dis? New month, we're this.
Get your new month DLC. So summer 2025. So at least we have that much.
Yeah.
When does summer stop?
I'm still missing the hemisphere though. Like, what summer are they talking about? Northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere? What? Because those are different summers. You know what I mean?
The one in 2025.
Okay. Because, like, are they talking about like the summer in Brazil? Because summer in Brazil is our winter.
Look, you've got Rise of 9 coming up, so you've got something
December
to
of
keep
2025?
Maybe.
For you Brazilians, expect it to be released in December. Everybody else, August. My lord!
I this is the energy we need from social media teams. If people are just going to be, snarky and whatever, just bring the snark sometimes.
Yeah.
Be like, listen, it's coming. Why? Because it's here and it's fun. And there's a bunch of other like back and forths, but none of them were nearly as good as these or complete. Going, no, it's summer, and poking fun with journalists is always good times.
Yeah, I especially like the whole nerf it in PvE. Why?
Why? Everything's
To
fine.
what end?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Instructions unclear.
You realize it's PvE, not PvP, right? I mean, what do you want?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Why would anybody that was a stroke. Why would anybody want Lord of Wolves nerfed in PvE? Like why would you want anything nerfed in PvE? Just as like a full stop. I know why Bungie would want things nerfed in PvE, but why would somebody non-Bungie affiliated want any PvE nerfs? I don't understand. Like, do you hate yourself? Do you hate playing the game? Are you just being a troll to everybody else?
They just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, that's probably
maybe they don't have Lord of Wolves and they're tired of being told they have to have Lord of Wolves, or they're getting kicked out of their raid groups like Gjallarhorn and Destiny 1.
I was going to say we're back to the Gjallarhorn meta.
It.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Somebody posted in our chat about how the old reward screen showed somebody that did the worst in PvP getting the Gjallarhorn, and like, first of all, that was annoying because that was the thing. People's like, oh, I still hold the theory that this is true. It's not a theory. That is factual, provable, documented evidence. If you do the worst in a PvP match, you are the most likely to get, the exclusive exotic that everybody else wants, right? That is not a theory. It's been proven time and time again.
That's Bungie saying thank you. We appreciate you for playing our PvP game. Please keep it up.
Yeah,
here's your fancy reward.
It's okay. Whatever. You tried. Maybe you didn't. Who knows?
Bring that screen back. I want to see what other people are doing. I want the guy who slayed out and got his 25-0 KD to get nothing out of the match, and me who got murdered by that guy 25 times getting the exotics. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need to teach them. See, if you play the objective, you get the rewards. If you just slay out for the views, you get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir. Maybe they'll change their ways, and then we can win Iron Banner games. Not holding out hope, but there's a chance. There's always a chance.
Yeah, somebody pointed out earlier that the reason Iron Banner sucks so bad is because all the people that would be playing Trials at that point are all in Iron Banner because Trials goes away. So
No, that's not true.
That's a good point.
It's an all-week thing. They're always there, always watching, always playing.
Well, to be fair, you can play Trials 4 days out of a week. So, what's
yeah,
the
you
difference?
can. Trials is different to Iron Banner.
But if their Trials is gone, then Iron Banner would still be here. So, okay, maybe 3 of those days you won't have the sweats, but all the other days you're gonna have the sweats. It's where they're at. They're playing PvP, the highest version of PvP they can get their hands on, which at that time would be Iron Banner.
Correct.
Trials again.
No, that'd be competitive. That'd be competitive. Iron Banner is not the highest form of PvP at this point.
No, you can't even. Light doesn't matter anymore in it. So
yeah. Iron Banner is as close as we have to casual PvP, if anything.
Lies. I don't believe it. Iron Banner, there's all kinds of sweaties.
I mean, everything's all kinds of sweaties, because guess what? PvP players are going to play PvP.
That's what we should go and do. We should end the podcast and go and play some PvP.
No.
Let's do that.
Negative. Not this week, because my mom's here, and I've been away from my kid for a month, so I'm going to go spend time with him before I leave again tomorrow. So
I don't even know who you are anymore.
He's
not even going to know that you've been thanked for joining us. That your Titans are Peroty and Night Team and your Hunters no one responds to real life. He's not even going to know that he should go to YouTube and watch all the lovely videos. What's going on, guessing on what the Crucible modes are going to be, what shade of things you should buy, how beautiful you can look on all your new ornaments and emblems. He's not even going to know that you can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com to give us all your feedback and information. That you can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. YouTube has every new episode, every weekly update video, every live stream. It's all right there. And your poor kid isn't even going to know. He can go to twotitansandahunter.com to get all the show notes for every single show about all the links and videos we talk about. And that's just sad, because maybe he might want to go to join the Otter Dance Troupe, threaten us with a good time or throw more grenades, and join our Patreon, patreon.com/TTH. Or maybe he wants to go to coffee.com/twotitansandahunter. Just toss us some shekels that way. Is he even sitting here watching twitch.tv/no one responds to real life to get the live version of the show? And has he even joined the British family-friendly version, twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter? I don't think he has. I don't think he's done any of those things. And I don't think any of the other people have, but they can next week, where we'll be back talking more Destiny.
Just
and
Destiny.
Maybe pink kitty cats. Who knows? We'll see.
Maybe. Okay. Depends on how good it is.
Yeah, not Marathon necessarily, but I think the pink kitty cat will be a recurring character, because how could it not?
Right.
Until next week, we'll be living in a world where we'll be post Marathon stream, so all the videos will be Marathon videos.
Indeed.
And yeah, I'll talk to you guys next week. Say goodbye.
Deuces.
Deuces!
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.